Yep, mic test. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Keys to the game here for I think for Pittsburgh, it's communication and cohesion in defense. That backline is not
We round things into form from Pittsburgh, PA, with a Prinx Tires USL Cup spectacle with two USL Cup Championship sides going toe-to-toe. It's Loudoun United meeting up with Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Good evening to all with Dre Cordero. I'm David Gascon, and thanks for joining us. Dre, we're in group play for these two sides, and it's a dead rubber match. Neither team can advance to the next round, so what does that mean for each organization?
Well, the math won't math for either of these two teams. There's no chance for Loudoun, who were already eliminated coming into the weekend, and the head-to-head tiebreak against both of the leaders, Charleston and Charlotte, would be in favor of those teams against Pittsburgh. Even if they do pick up 3 points, it will take them to 8. What Pittsburgh can do, what the Hounds can do in this contest, is finish this group stage without losing a single game in regulation. They won convincingly game 1, then allowed themselves to get into these dogfights in games 2 and 3, lost the penalty battles in both cases, and they're costly because they will not be able to go through.
Hasn't been bad for Pittsburgh. Tonight's player to watch is sponsored by Modelo, celebrating those with a fighting spirit just like this man, Ford Albert Diqua, who's determined and skillful enough to embody the mark of a fighter.
And we get a treat out of Albert Diqua tonight because it's not the kind of match he would normally start. In fact, this will be his first Cup start. But the fact that he has an upcoming suspension that he'll serve at midweek means you don't have to rest his legs. You get a chance to roll him out today, and he is the absolute firepower for the Hounds.
And it's been a challenging year for Loudoun United, a different side from 2025. What do they want to accomplish here tonight?
I think it's a get-right match for them. It's a game in which they have to show individually that they're up to the task. This is not a team that's in contention for the playoffs. It's not a team that's going to win silverware this season. And so it's about setting yourself up to show your manager you deserve minutes, you deserve a chance to shine down the final stretch of the campaign.
Loudoun forward Thor Ulfarsson is our player to watch tonight. The 25-year-old striker is one of the newest additions to this side, and he's made the biggest impact. He leads the club right now with 8 goals.
As he goes, this team goes. He is all of their offense. In fact, in this group stage, he's responsible for the last 3 goals they scored. He had both in the victory in round number 2. He set up Murphy for the goal and the consolation goal in that 3-1 defeat last time out. He is, without a doubt, the danger man.
It has been an all-time series domination for Pittsburgh. In 18 matches, they have won 14 against Loudoun United. Coming up in their side, we'll get you the starting 11 and first touch. It's Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Loudoun United, coming at you next.
At FNB, we're not just changing the skyline of Pittsburgh, we're reshaping the landscape of banking, building a new headquarters in the Hill District, making a billion-dollar impact in our region, fueling growth, revitalizing neighborhoods, creating opportunities. Because when our city rises, we all rise. Your bank might do business here. We're building a brighter future here.
Can your bank do that?
Welcome to FNB. Let's get started.
Up. It's all, and he gave that the luck. Joel's ball rolls in, and an early chance is finished by Albert Diqua. Still wrestling for it, and it's knocked in. Right through, and it's in. The breakthrough Pittsburgh was looking for.
Our blueprint at 84 Lumber started with the simplest of ideas. Hire good people, provide excellent service, add value. From that foundation, we created our structure and shaped an industry. We build projects, homes, dreams, neighborhoods. We build careers, lives, futures. We build success. 84 Lumber.
Hi, I'm Dustin.
I'm Kim.
And I'm Grace.
And we're Dustin Buys Houses.
My parents buy houses for cash.
With a call to make in the Pittsburgh area.
To sell your as-is property fast.
We buy fixer-uppers, foreclosures, rented or vacant.
Or a nicer home you just need out of. We buy them all.
Plus, you don't pay any fees. Takes just a few minutes on the phone.
To see if our family can help yours.
Call 412-615-0000.
Prinx Tires is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Built for practical performance in the long haul, Prinx delivers reliability everyday drivers just like you. Visit PrinxTireUSA.com to learn more. And we are live here from FNB Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. First off, the rotation. And for Pittsburgh Riverhounds, the formations of 4-4-2 for head coach Rob Vincent. We look in between the sticks here tonight, Dre. Mitchell Butler, the 23-year-old, gets the nod.
Yeah, 7 changes in the 11, but the 1 in goal is significant. Capusano is the usual starter. Butler and Sheridan have been alternating that cup duty. Tonight is a 23-year-old for the first time in front of the home fans.
Should be a lot of feelings and nerves for him. On the flip side of things for Loudoun United, Anthony Limbrick is the head coach, a 3-5-2 deployment. Looking in the middle of the park, Abdulatif Abukora. He was the focal point of the offense last year. This year he's only played in 5 matches.
Yeah, there's 5 changes in total from match day 3 in this lineup. 2 of those are in attack where Ordonez and Abukura have to keep their defenders busy, take players on, create spaces and opportunities for Thor Olferson.
Abukura was banged up a lot at the tail end of last season. It was a fantastic year for Loudoun United, but things kind of fell by the wayside because of some injuries and a head coaching change and now a brand new deployment. We talked with Anthony Limbrick a couple days ago. One of the things he said he felt about his team was they're not so far off. They just need to capitalize and play a consistent 90 minutes worth of football. Of course, every coach will say that about their team, but obviously for Loudoun United, it's all about the results, and they don't have those in the win category yet.
This is also the kind of game where you could try things. You know you're not going through, but you're up against a quality opponent, a good defensive side as well. So it's an opportunity to try some of the things you do in training that maybe you're not ready to do when there's 3 points on the line and you're still playoff positioning. Today, you can sort of throw caution to the wind and give it a go.
Temperatures tonight at 79 degrees. There's thoughts of rain, a decent amount of wind blowing out. Fan attendance is decent enough, but you think obviously with the World Cup going on, you get fans that'll be occupying different parts of this park. Obviously, Dollar Night beers, you acknowledged to me off camera, Dre, as this match is officially underway. Loudoun United will be going from right to left in the attack in the white kits, and then Pittsburgh Riverhounds, the blue and red here tonight, will be moving from left to right.
More excited for Dollar Beer Night than for the World Cup doubleheader.
The question is, how many dollars would you be spending on a night like this?
It's a school night tonight. We're working.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Loudoun United, just one victory during the regular season of USL Championship action. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, the defending 2025 USL champs, recovering from a 2024 bout where they captured the Players' Shield and then got bounced out in the opening round by Detroit. Excellent recovery for them, but obviously turned the page here to 2026. It's a different animal for them, but they are the hunted.
And right away, you can see Limbrick there at the bottom of your screen. He is still employing that 3 center back formation with Adnan Erlinson and Mazzaferro as the 3 across the back. Erlinson was missing due to injury at the start of the season. They are so much better defensively when he's in the lineup.
This one on the approach, Ordonez. Abukura, double-digit goals last year for Loudoun United. The problem wasn't his skill set. His youth is stellar, but the problem is the durability. He's only played in 5 matches during the regular season for Loudoun United. That's an area of concern because he is a difference maker when he's amongst the starting 11 for Loudoun United.
Yeah, this is a very attack-minded front 3. Abukura, Ordonez, and Thor Olferson. On paper, that's a lot of goals that can cause some trouble with Pittsburgh Riverhounds. The Hounds are playing a different back 4 than they normally do. Barnes, Vactor, Osumanu, and Etu is not a usual 4-man backline, and so there are some issues there with how familiar are they. You know, they're still learning each other's names, and that's going to give some opportunities for a talented attacking trio to make their presence known.
You mentioned at the top of the show that there could be some changes and opportunities for both coaches to make tweaks on the fly, different from what they would do during the regular season, because this game doesn't mean anything in terms of advancing to the next round. But how many changes would you make, or how creative would you be if you're a head coach?
Well, I think looking at Loudoun, the fact that he's got 3 strikers out there. Abukura can play wide, can play centrally. Ordonez can play as a number 9, can be a second striker. And Thor Olferson is your sort of everything attacker. I don't think that's something we'll see, or we have seen too much in the play. We do see it tonight in the Cup.
Abukura on the approach. Doesn't have numbers, but he's got pace. Soft pass over the left-hand side. That will be intercepted. It'll end up being a goal kick. That looked like it crossed the goal line, and it did. The end line was crossed. Building a win. 84 Lumber. See tonight's keys to the matchup.
Yeah, for Pittsburgh, as mentioned, communication and cohesion along that back 4 with Vactor and Osumanu, not the usual center back pairing. And of course, Mitch Butler is making his 2nd start in goal. So some inexperience, at least when it comes to playing together in that defense. And on the other side, it's simple. Get the ball to Thor, get it to him in dangerous places, and allow him to ask some questions of this young goalkeeper.
Butler, just 23 years of age. A big kid, though, at 6'3" and just over 200 pounds. AHN, the official medical provider, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC, with the injury report tonight. Always to be expected, someone's missing in action. We're in the month of July. Armstrong, Diaz, Santos, and Sangwe and O'Connor are MIA right now for Loudoun United. For Pittsburgh, nothing being reported. This one played through an open man, left foot strike, grabs the crossbar. Early at the second punch, that one trickles wide. Walty had a golden beat on this one just outside the 18, but simply missed it.
Well, have a look here. Completely unmarked in the heart of the area is the most dangerous attacking player for the Hounds. Dikwa, without anyone around him, just couldn't get his balance about him and strikes the top side of the crossbar. Loudoun United dodge a bullet here, and that is the one player you don't want to lose inside of the 18.
And the worst part of that for Deke was he didn't hit the crossbar flush. In fact, he hit underneath it, and then it came ricocheting out. Ethan Bondre right there escapes. First break for him. And Loudoun United, an early scare here for the roadside.
Also to highlight the work of Junior Etu, who burst a lung down that wing to get on the end of that and deliver a cross into the heart of the 18.
So some early theatrics for Pittsburgh. Loudoun escapes. Now what can they do with their opportunity? Match is just underway. Wua, left-hand side of Abukura. Probably the sentiment too from Anthony Limbrick is being candid with his boys that they haven't been good enough to skirt by and take this match for granted, even though it doesn't mean anything in terms of regular season standings. It's all about pride and executing, getting ready for the next match.
I like the switch of play there from Super, who spotted Owo on this near side. Difficult pass to Abukura, but saw the quality that he has, the technique to bring that difficult ball down in stride.
Abukura, Mufarson, two guys that can fill it up. Mufarson, 8 goals across all competitions, 6 during the regular season for Loudoun United. Abukura had 15 goals last year across all competitions for Loudoun United. The one element that Anthony Limbrick did mention too is it feels like his club being just a little bit off from everybody else. If they can go on a winning streak and rattle off a couple consecutive victories, then all of a sudden you're right back in the hunt. But it's about being consistent and regular and showing up. And then of course executing, which is easier said than done week in and week out. Quick touch, Abukura could not handle it. He's intercepted. Barnes. Bad ball there. Pace has been good so far. It's spun from both sides. Griffin with a pretty decent ball out wide to the left. See where Dikwa is. Just outside the 6. That'll go on Bondre. Mishandled that ball too, and it's going to be a corner kick.
Well, that's where the early danger is coming from the Hounds, that left side where the left back Etu was getting forward and tilting the pitch in that direction. That's not the best service there, even though it did maybe look a little more clumsy and goal than it needed to be. But if they give him that kind of space to roam and just deliver crosses into the 18, it's going to be a difficult outing for Loudoun.
Cohen Market's corner kick, the first one of the night for Pittsburgh. Garcia will take this. Before all that occurs, we'll wait for a reassessment. Boluak and Yodi, a large frame that can have an impact in the middle of the park for Loudoun United defending on these corner kicks. It's one element that they don't feel comfortable with right now. Not only attacking, but also defending on these set pieces. Garcia will have to reset. Match just underway. Albert Dikwa grabbing the crossbar in the 4th minute. The biggest moment of the match so far. Garcia lofts this one up inside the 18. Walty, see if he squares up for this one. Same result, does not hit the target.
Nice catch out there.
Well, he's had 2 cracks at it. One slicing wide, one goes over the crossbar.
Got a very solid midfield in Walty and Griffin. Both there, they work very well together in the center of the park. And that's actually my biggest question for Loudoun is Akinyode is more of a destroyer in midfield. He's a center back who can play as a defensive mid. Murphy is a pretty good distributor of the ball, so too is Super, but he's playing in a wider role today. That means that Walty and Griffin, if they take it upon themselves, can boss this midfield and help Riverhounds have a lot more possession.
Akinyoti didn't really have a home in Miami. It was acquired by Loudoun United last year when Miami was laboring. But Akinyoti was on the back line for Miami SC and didn't have a whole lot of support. Goes into a playoff contending team in Loudoun United. Closes out a strong year. But now in the middle of the pitch, Anthony Lindbergh can use him in a variety of ways.
I think you also get a sense of whether Lindbergh wants to have more or less possession based on how he uses Akinyoti. If he's part of the back line, maybe you got an extra midfielder who's a ball player in the center. If he's playing in a holding midfield role like he is today, maybe you expect a little bit more back and forth and you give up a little more of the ball, but you have more security close to your own goal.
Excellent point. I think just as a greedy man, you want to have as much possession as possible because, like you alluded to at the top, Ordonez and Abukora, of course, and Ufarson, they need that service. They need those touches.
Yeah, that said, it's anecdotal at 10 minutes in, but they've had 70% of possession in this game, Loudoun.
Take what they can get and try to grow into this match. Possession their way, chances, though, favoring Pittsburgh. Team on the board. Riverhounds all-time 14 victories, 2 losses and 2 draws.
Was so often the outlet on this near side. There he is again. He started this possession all the way back in his half.
Touched over on the left-hand side. Ordonez will flag it down. Ordonez trying to grab the corner. He will do so, literally speaking.
And Barnes staying step for step with him, just losing his balance at the end, but did well not to let Ordonez through. And it's going to be tricky to keep track of where all these strikers are. Ordonez, Abukura, and Thor Olferson. They're very dynamic, versatile players who can pop up in all sorts of places.
First corner kick of the night for Loudoun United. On ball here. That one's going to be sprayed away, but some contact near the 6. We got a minute. Enter the Prinx Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for a chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on your screen right now and enter today. Bobby threw into the middle of the pitch. Akinyoti the touch and has possession. Awua clears his back. Haven't really called Ufarson's number yet. It has been everybody else, including Ordonez. Abukora on the run, and he will run out of real estate. Nice heads-up play by Vactor. What do you think the message is going into a match like this if you are Anthony Lindbergh to your guys, knowing that this doesn't do a whole lot for your psyche right now this season?
I think it's proved that you're a part of the solution. The season has not gone the way that you wanted to, but there's still quite a bit of season left for you to make an impact. And are you part of the turnaround for this team? Are you setting up the, let's not say comeback, let's not say playoff push, but we can't say righting of the ship. And this is why this is so much of a get-right game for me if you're Loudoun United. Greatest power that the head coach has is the managing of the minutes. Prove that you deserve to be out there.
And I think to your point too, probably the biggest challenge for both managers tonight is the motivational element, how you craft your language to make sure that, hey, there's still something to play for.
It's why you see the rotation that you do in a game like this.
Pittsburgh a favorite coming into this matchup, but neither side will be available to advance the next round.
Super is so good at that, the long switch. He's got such great vision, and you can see the progressions really, the wheels turning in his head. He wants to go the player that's closest to goal first, and he'll work his way back to the safest pass possible.
Beautiful element in Pittsburgh, not really throwing a lot of pressure so far at Loudoun United. They've been comfortable without possession so far.
And that's very much in their DNA, isn't it? I mean, when we think historically about this Riverhounds team, they're defensively solid. They can't suffer. Some teams don't like to have the ball. The players get antsy and frustrated. This is a team that is defensive first and always has been. They've thrown a few wrinkles in this season as they're changing things on. Obviously, new coach, new system, new philosophy, but that DNA is still part of the defending champions.
And to a layman, though, drill into that, Drake, because you say suffering and I think pain and misery, but that's not necessarily a bad thing for Pittsburgh, is it?
Some teams know how to suffer. Some teams know how to not have the ball and not lose their shape, wait for their opportunities. It starts with a belief in that system can work and that style of play suits you. And I think we saw winning as they did last season with Vincent at the helm, running off, was it 8 straight games to lift the trophy at the end of the campaign. I think that sells the players.
It's one of those elements when you look at a box score that you can't always compute. Possession and shots for that matter. Expected goals for, and of course shots on target are a different kind of beast to look at, but it's all about manufacturing what you have when you can.
To give you a sort of international perspective, you think of Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid. No team knows how to suffer quite like those teams. It becomes part of their identity, and it makes it so difficult to play against.
You're also not using a ton of energy either. You're not running around, chasing the ball, playing outside of your focus. Pittsburgh trying to attack here. Dikwa in the middle of the pitch. Malti, poor ball here. Akinyoti able to disrupt. Ua, some contact.
Tell you what, though, it's a good sign that Walty keeps arriving as that second wave of attack with no one around him, and he can pick out his options. Execution has failed him on the last 2, but he's getting himself into good spots.
Turn on CBS on Saturday, July 18th for a USL Championship Eastern Conference showdown. Last season's champ, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, go toe-to-toe with 2025 Players Shield winner, Lou City, in a must-win match of the summer. 2 elite clubs on one massive stage. Don't miss a minute of the action on CBS at noon Eastern on July 18th. Chipped in the middle of the park. Walty here again. Griffin will peel this back. Griffin looking for some support. Walty out wide. Walty with the chip. Nice lead feed towards the back line. Plenty of contact, and our center referee points to the spot. Yellow card being delivered by our center referee. Mazzaferro is going to wear it, and for good reason. Check it out.
And Mazzaferro is beaten badly here by a very good run from Ahmed, who gets in front of his defender. There's not really much he can do there. Mazzaferro, once he's beaten that badly, perfectly onside as well, as you see from the replay. And so he just tries to knock his balance off. It's enough of a push to bring Ahmed down in front of the goalkeeper. And the referee's in a very good spot to see it. It's a clear-cut penalty.
You see him limping around a little bit. You'd love to give him the reward of the penalty as well.
It's not the most violent push, but you can see exactly what he's doing, just bumping him off of his balance.
Especially in that moment. And we'll take the penalty. First opportunity to get a look at Trevor.
He's got half his goals this season in this competition. He scored twice in the Prinx Cup. That was back in the opening round where he scored 2 goals against Greenville Triumph in that 3-0 victory. He's got 2 more goals in the championship. Well, you never know nowadays because we've seen more and more of players holding the ball, and then passing it off to a teammate to take the penalty. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case this time.
I say, well, if that was you, would you be passing it off? Man's got to eat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it'll take the penalty here in the 19th minute. Against Ethan Bondre. Hyman with the strike, pure as it is. It's 1-0 Pittsburgh.
So confidently taken, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, puts it right close to the net side netting, where Bondre cannot keep it out. I'd also just like to highlight that in the lead up to that goal, most of the possession had been going Loudoun's way, but they were having trouble getting out of their own half. And we talked about that ability to suffer. To put it differently, they were just so well positioned. They were waiting in that mid block, and one counterattack leads to this, a mistake at the back, the penalty, and it's 1-0.
The setup, the build-up, and then of course, all about the finish. Classy as it is, that goal brought to you by Cohen Markets. And you mentioned it too, Dre, just adding to his total, doing it here in tournament action, his 5th goal across all competitions, and he certainly earned it. Loudoun owning possession, Pittsburgh taking advantage of an opportunity, and they draw first blood, 1-0.
It's been nice to see with the Hounds, just not a lot of possession, not a lot of attacks, but the quality of their attacks. A few times they have arrived in this first half. They've arrived with plenty of danger, whether it was Walty, whether it was Etu, and this time a ball delivered into Aman, who just made such a good run in front of Mazzafero. It's a just 1-0 lead.
Akinyoti. And now Loudoun United will have to come from behind. A team that has not been great this year. Has not been solid here in the Prinx Tires USL Cup either. A victory, a couple losses, just the 3 points. For Pittsburgh, they've captured points in all 3 matches. That hasn't been the problem for them, but they only have 1 victory and a couple of draws. Those 2 draws, they lost in penalties. So they're unable to win this Group 6 because of the tie-breaking situation.
I think if you're Pittsburgh and you know that you can advance, you at least want to go out of this group stage with the head held high. And I think taking 8 points, not losing any of the games within the 90 minutes is a moral victory as much as those matter, which is not much.
Akinyoti looking for some kind of build-up. Uwa, sharp corner, the header! Oh, it's a great stop on the goal line by Butler. I don't know how Uwa got to that ball, but it was perfectly placed.
Oh, this would have been the perfect response, and so far the best chance of the game for Loudoun United. Uwa has been the one who's been tilting the pitch in his direction. It's a really good ball to Thor Olferson, and Thor gets it on target, but unfortunately for him, hits it right at Butler.
He's acknowledging it, the body work of Olferson. Unfortunate for him, but credit to Uwa just to get to that ball.
Before this, there were 2 sort of maybe half chances, not even quite that much, but both were with Uwa being the genesis of it on this near side. He's involved in the build-up, and he's delivering those dangerous balls once he gets into the final third.
Something to be cognizant of if you're Pittsburgh. They've been solid so far defensively, but there's the first crack in this match.
Keep in mind, Super on the other side is more of an attacking midfielder or a central midfielder than he is a wide man. So they're going to get all their width from this near side where Uwa is going to enjoy plenty of possession.
Squeeze into a tight window. Uwa peels this thing back. Abukora. See the respect that he's given. Ordonez. Abukora tees one up. Partially blocked on the way through. Butler's not going to take any chances.
A little deflection off of Actor that took all the sting out of it. Probably wasn't going to ask too tough a question of the goalkeeper anyway. A better combination, better link-up play for Loudoun to create some chances. You never know how a team's going to respond to that first goal given up, especially in a game like this, a game of this nature where really it is mostly pride on the line. But it's been a positive response from Loudoun since conceding the opener.
Big anticipation for both sides when those changes will come to their starting 11. Some things that each head coach can test out. Give some players an opportunity and others some needed rest.
On the big screen of the Roxy and Theater on Tuesday, July 14th. Kickoff is set for 3 p.m. and the doors open at 2. Space is limited, so RSVP now at riverhounds.com/watch party.
Barnes trying to get this thing thrown in. See what develops here. Off angle and coming out to seize that moment.
And Vieira combining with Dequa there. And just searching ball into the middle. No one able to latch onto it. Andre could smother it.
Coming up this Monday, July 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern, the Prinx Tires USL Cup Knockout Draw quarterfinal show. USL's Dan Lucas and the broadcast analyst Evan Kerr will select the matchups from the 7 group winners in the wild card. Monday at 1 p.m. live on USL's YouTube channel. It's been quite the summer across North America. USL Championship in full flight. Of course, the US Open Cup, now the Prinx Tires USL Cup. And cannot forget, of course, the FIFA World Cup with some select players representing their countries that are part of several of the teams throughout USL Championship and USL League One. It's been a different scene across the United States.
In the spirit of Dollar Beer Night, 2 things that the United States has become from one of the worst to one of the best nations in: beer and watching soccer.
No doubt about it. The rumors were true about Scotland sending their finest to Massachusetts and drinking and emptying out several of pubs in Boston. The Scots came to South Florida and did the same in Little Havana. The chip, weak side. Player available. That shot blocked on the way through. Afarso looked like he was the one that got in front of that attempt. A little bit of friendly fire there. That's unfortunate.
And Noah Adna nearly got a gift. Ball falls to him at the back post. Awu again, right in the center of all of the good things happening offensively for Loudoun United. Adna just couldn't keep his shot down.
So don't miss your chance to grab these delicious specials today.
For the most part, Pittsburgh has not had much pressure against them. Just 2 chances. Ufarson with one of them on a header. And Butler denied. And then that attempt just seconds ago, but nothing on target. So it's been a rather comfortable night so far for Pittsburgh. Yes, they're not dominating the possession category, but all in all, they've been the more comfortable side. Pittsburgh. Sorry, go ahead.
Seeing more and more of Thor Olferson dropping into the midfield. At one point, dropping in between the center backs to just get some touches and get himself involved. This is what I was talking about at the start of this contest, with the responsibility of Kimi Ordonez and Abukura to take some of that off of the shoulders of Thor, so that Thor's first touch can be at the edge of the final third when he can be driving at defenders.
Lots of traffic spilling down. Murphy was looking around, even at Murphy or at Belu Akinyoti, acknowledgement of the feed. Pittsburgh certainly clogging the middle of the park. Griffin on the intercept.
Only 2 not allowed to go there. You can see that Pittsburgh wanted a foul, nothing was given.
When you're up against a formidable opponent defensively like Pittsburgh, there's not an exact science to it, but how would you approach and how would you break them down when you're trying to attack the outside flanks?
Well, I can tell you how they're trying to break them down, which is through Awu on this near side. They play the ball, when they win the ball back at first, Loudoun, they play to the middle, but they're not playing through the middle in attack. We immediately go either to Super on the right or Awu on this near side to try and create. And Awu with his speed and Super with his passing. We're looking for whether it's Abukura or Ordonez or Olferson in those dangerous places. And they've had some success. I mean, obviously they haven't scored yet, but they had 6 touches in the opposition's 18. That's more than Pittsburgh have had, even though Pittsburgh are up a goal to nil. Half of those were Awuah.
Yeah, if ever there's a player that has gotten into a rhythm for Loudoun, it is Awuah. And Pittsburgh, conversely, has just been patient. They've played their game. Not running around and took advantage of an opportunity. And they lead 1-0.
Interestingly, on this near side, you've got Barnes and Vieira for the Riverhounds. Vieira has played quite a few games at right back. Barnes is filling in that position right now. So essentially, you've got double right backs on the same side that Awuah is playing on.
Pittsburgh in the middle of the pack in the Eastern Conference. Strong at home with 4 victories and a couple defeats. Loudoun United, not the same. They have 1 victory this year. And the alarming part is even with that 1 victory, they have 8 draws. So it's not like they're not competitive. This is different for some of the other clubs in USL Championship. This is a team that just has conceded late, much to the chagrin of their head coach, Anthony Limbrick. He acknowledges much. He just feels they can close a little bit better. It's the difference between snagging 1 point and grabbing a full 3. Limbrick even admitted it. Feels like some of those draws throughout the year feel like losses.
It's Galen Vactor who commits the foul there, bringing down Thor Olferson, who again was getting most of his touches in the midfield area.
Albert Deke was a man down for Pittsburgh on the opposite side of the pitch.
And a 2 yet.
Two who's down on the ground. Getting a stern lecture from our center referee. Can't read lips, but Dre, if you can help.
I can ad-lib.
That might be more fitting for like TikTok or Instagram these days, right? Whatever the youngins use, it's all about the clicks. So 1-0 Pittsburgh. Loudoun has only had a couple chances so far in this match. Shots are 4-2 in favor of Pittsburgh, each team with 1 on target. Expected goals for, though, Pittsburgh just over 1. Loudoun United at .11.
James Murphy's a player that Loudoun would like to get more involved as well. He could be a metronome in the midfield for them. He's got the fewest touches of any field player for Loudoun in this game other than Thor Olferson.
Well, stats and highlights right around the corner. Also give you a look around USL Championship. Prinx Tires USL Cup draw will be on Monday. So an introduction will come. Abukora, cheap foul there. Walty goes down. He induced it.
It wasn't a good ball to Abukora. It was played behind him. Actually, the foul might be the smart thing there as well, because you've given the ball away to Walty, who's got the whole field in front of him. He was salivating.
Akinyoti, fine poke, able to seize it. Possession regained by Loudoun United. It's a good effort.
That's what he's there for. He covers so much ground. And seemingly just wrap that leg around and poke it loose.
Abukora with a tough pass. Gave it up. Farson was the intended target. This ball lobbed up, misplayed for a minute. Abukora trying to free himself up into a lane. No such luck.
Too strong a pass from Murphy, but you saw good things happen when Murphy gets on the end of it. He tries to curl that ball into Thor Olferson. Here he is once more.
I just feel like the work rate offensively has improved a little bit for Loudoun. Not a lot, but I just feel like it's getting better. Must translate into something, though, to mean anything. Murphy gives this back to Pittsburgh.
Solid from Super, who had a defender on his back and was able to confidently bring that ball down under control. Pittsburgh are playing with their hands in their pockets. Not a hair out of place. They're comfortable. Their spacing is fine. Outside of that Thor Olferson chance, haven't really struggled too much in terms of conceding any clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities.
It has been comfortable enough for them. Dequo, the crossing attempt was a dangerous approach. That one spearheaded away.
And Dequo turns provider that time. And Trevor Ahman, who scored the opening goal from the penalty spot, wanted another foul, another penalty. Not sure there was anything in it. Both players are making a play for the ball.
50-50, and Trevor looking at our center referee asking for an explanation. Don't miss one of the biggest matches of the summer as the Riverhounds host Lou City on Saturday, July 18th at noon in a nationally televised showdown on CBS. Be there live at FNB Stadium and arrive early. The first 750 fans will receive an AMO World Cup themed bobblehead. Get your tickets today. Scan the QR code on your screen right now or visit riverhounds.com/tickets. Juices will certainly be up for a nationally televised game. Loudoun United trying to be where Pittsburgh, a Lou City have been. Lou City, a perennial Eastern Conference threat. Players Shield last year, but bouncing out in the postseason. It shows how challenging it is to go wire to wire. Regular season dominance and then display the same kind of output and result in the postseason.
Loudoun have been around for a while now, some 7 years, but remember most of that was as a sort of affiliate team to DC United. It wasn't until the ownership change in 2023 that this team gained a new ambition, a new will to not just develop players for their side, but for themselves and try and make their own name.
Long ball here, Dequa trying to make a touch on it, could not. Pittsburgh, though, having to log in some minutes now with this possession. Griffin peeled out wide to the left. Alty was asking for it, now backed away. Dequa pushing out wide to the right. Vieira. Sizable advantage in terms of possession for Loudoun United, but Pittsburgh has not wavered at all. Nice chip. Vieira outside, kept the ball on the deck. I should have thought differently of that. A couple of players in a dangerous spot inside the 18, but could not put it onto their foot. Pittsburgh being economical with possession and passing. Yodi able to disrupt. A lot of the action so far in this first half has been played in the middle of the pitch.
It was Griffin, by the way, who was stitching it all together. I loved his movement and that spell of possession. He's always making himself an option, went around solving tactical puzzles all over the pitch for Pittsburgh.
Walty gave it up. Dequa down the middle of the park. Slow playing this. The crossing attempt. His hope was to receive it. Runs a little bit long off the deflection.
It's an important touch by Mazzaferro. There was a Hounds player streaking unmarked into the 18.
Vieira, who's got it now. Griffin. Back to Vieira. We're doing a lot more with it. Walty had open real estate, plays this one in, and a beautiful setup. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh, and there's a brace.
Does not count. Offside.
Center referee acknowledges with the near side official having the flag up. It'll be offside. Goal will not count, and we play on.
Well, the referee's assistant has a much better angle on that than we do, but from our vantage point did not look. That's going to be worthy of a second and third look. But what about the work from Walty there? Before the ball even arrives, a little hesitation move that sends Quiñones to the grocery store. Completely unmarked, and curls a beautiful ball in to Trevor Ahmed. He was unfortunate not to have his second of the match.
Ahmed converted the penalty early on this affair in the 19th minute. With foul here, 2 players down for Pittsburgh. Take a peek at this real quick, Dre, and tell me what you saw.
I'm glad that it starts here, because you see how Walty just gets away from Quiñones way too easily, and you can't really tell from here. It does look as though he's closer to that 18-yard line that Mazzafello, I believe is. Yeah, Mazzaferro was the furthest back, and that line is not definitive at all from this angle. But it did look as though he may have been just ahead of Mazzaferro.
Walty certainly has an influence in this match so far. An excellent ball there.
Yeah, the quality of that service was excellent. I mean, it's such an inviting ball, just bending in over the top of the defender. Wonderful header to finish as well. A moot point.
Something to acknowledge in a highlight tape. Just a little bit off. Garcia will take this from well outside the 18. The chip towards the right side. Played across. Won't be on target though.
It was overcooked for Jorge Garcia, who was the closest Hounds player to it.
Match hasn't had a lot of personality to it yet, has it?
Of course, no VAR, the semi-automatic or any variety in the championship or the Prinx Cup. Yeah. So it's been fairly safe, fairly rigid for both teams. Not a lot of risk being taken.
And not a lot of physical contact. It's been rather polite. There hasn't been a major sense of urgency from either side.
And yeah, we could have had more goals in it. There was that Dequa chance early on. It was still 0-0. Who slams it into the underside of the crossbar. There was a point-blank shot from Oferson. It's a good ball. It's a heavy ball.
Yeah, Wua fed Oferson near the M line. His header was denied by Butler. And certainly to your point, we could have at least 4 goals in this match. We have one. Pierre and company looking for more. We'll check out the 4th official, see how much added time will be provided here in this opening half. But no stoppages for hydration or injury, anything like that just yet. It's been rather free-flowing. Both teams trying to ask some questions and probe a bit.
Temperature in the low 80s.
Sharp contact there. See if it results in any call with a booking. And 2 who's down.
Junior Eto has been in the receiving end of a couple. I think it's the 3rd time now that he's down on that far side. And he's so quick, he's so explosive when he gets going. That just the most minimal contact, he's going to feel it. And that's a worthwhile yellow card. I'm okay with that. Adnan is late, no chance of getting the ball.
Adnan will pick it up. Eto who's down and not getting up now. They're calling for some medical attention to him.
So that's 2 of the back 3 now, painted yellow for Loudoun. Sama Tafero picked up a yellow card on the penalty he allowed, and Adnan also in the book.
Tough break for Junior Eto. Mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Pittsburgh did not have anyone that was unavailable for this match.
Eto had been complaining to the referee about some of the treatment he had been getting. You saw where he was upset with the center ref earlier.
get up, walk around under his own power.
Not a fun surface to fall on either. That artificial pitch has been there some time now.
Anything but comfortable to walk on. CI2 just hobbling right now, and yeah, it doesn't look like he can continue. Back down on the canvas. Well, that's unfortunate for him. Pittsburgh, of course, much like Loudoun, they have bigger things to worry about, given the fact they can't advance in this Prinx Tires USL Cup.
They don't have another out-and-out left back that they could bring in off the bench on the match day roster. They do have the usual center back pairing in the Prinx Cup so far, which is Owen Mikoy and Victor Souza, both available.
Not looking on, but he's the guilty party with the booking. 4 minutes of added time.
As we resume play, it's time for Mosquito Joe free kick. Kick out buzz with Mosquito Joe.
Let's see if Pittsburgh can take advantage of this. A couple different ways they can slice this up on a free kick.
Coming out is number 8, Junior Etu. In his place, number 10.
Yeah, first change of the night. Unfortunate. Charles All will come in for Junior A2. A necessity change there. Also a youngster, 23 years of age, a great stop on the goal line. Bondre grabbing that left paw to come out to make it 1-0 still.
It's a terrific reflex. That ball was rolling beyond the line. He just got a fingertip on it and pushed it away strongly.
Abukura. Nearly a souvenir. So Bondre with a fine stop, keeping this deficit at 1. Pittsburgh still asking some questions and trying to take advantage of some poor defense by Loudoun United. Yoni trying to bark out some things. Loudoun's offense has that ball on it though. Only had a couple chances in this opening half to score. Denied on both.
So Max Vieira, who's spent time at right back this season, is now moved in as an auxiliary left back. And it's Charles All, who's come in to replace the injured Etu, who's lined up where Vieira was on his right flank.
For Pittsburgh, perfectly comfortable. Butler, get rid of this. Feed over the left-hand side. Amon was lurking for it. Griffin up all the way, surveying. Take one. Amon are inside the 18, asking for a ball to come that way, and just runs a little bit too long. Vieira, one of the intended targets on the right-hand side, to no avail.
So he's listed as a forward, Vieira. He's played at right back. He's now filling in as an emergency left back. And you can see a couple of opportunities there where a natural left back or a left-sided player would have created a bit of space and crossed in with his left. Vieira's not as comfortable doing that, so he has to cut back inside to use his right. Still provides a pretty relatively dangerous ball, but you can tell it's not a natural position for him.
Like you mentioned at the top, just some things that Pittsburgh and Loudoun can work out during a match like this. Things aren't necessarily set in stone. Looks like a professional foul, as they'd say, delivered right there. There is one. Erlinson with the yellow card. He'll wear it.
Another yellow card on Loudoun.
Well, that completes the trifecta now. Adnan, Erlinson, and Matsufero all booked.
This leads to a Mosquito Joe free kick.
So you talk about pressure put on a back line. This is it for Loudoun United. A good foul, though. Erlinson stopping an offensive attack. A considerable transition moment for Pittsburgh nullified.
By the way, the reason they didn't have a natural left back that they could bring into this game, Kelp, is suspended, having picked up 2 yellow cards in the last match against Charleston, away to Charleston.
Ball lofted up, but not a good delivery here.
And Jorge Garcia would want that one back. Hit it out where the Hounds couldn't do anything with it.
We've reached halftime.
Center referee blows the whistle. First half comes to a conclusion. We're all wrapping up here in the first half from FNB Stadium. Pittsburgh Riverhounds with a 1-0 lead over Loudoun United. Dre, first half thoughts?
Yeah, 1-0 is a fragile lead, but it hasn't felt all that fragile. As mentioned, the Riverhounds playing with their hands in their pockets. It's been fairly comfortable for them. They've created a lot without having to risk too much. Dequa could have had another goal. They could have doubled the lead to Trevor Amon as well. Loudoun have had an opportunity or two to get back into it. They got the player they wanted on the end of it. Thor Alferson, point blank, was denied by Butler. That was the best chance they had this half. I think 1-0 is a deserved lead at the break for the Hounds.
And Trevor Amon converting on a penalty in the 19th minute, his 5th goal of the season across all competitions. And that is where we stand right now from Pittsburgh. So Riverhounds with the advantage over Loudoun United. We're at the break. It's 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Here in Pittsburgh, strength, pride, and teamwork matter, just like at Home Genius Exteriors, a top-rated roofing, siding, windows, and doors contractor. Call now and get 50% off roofing materials, plus no payments till 2027. And we're proud to offer an extra 10% military discount. Schedule your free, no-obligation home inspection today. Call 412-528-6526. Home Genius Exteriors, proud sponsor of your Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Up. It's all, and he gave that the luck. Joel Zoll. Ball rolls in, and an early chance is finished by Albert Dequa.
Still wrestling for it, and it's knocked in.
Right through, and it's in. The breakthrough Pittsburgh was looking for.
In 2025, Pittsburgh proved once again champions live here. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds, USL champions, built on grit, strength, and performance. And when it comes to protecting your home, there's a champion there too. Pella Windows and Doors, one of the most trusted names in windows, built for performance and proud partner of the 2025 champion Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And for fans, get 55% off installation and an additional $500 when you mention the Riverhounds. Pella Windows and Doors, built like champions.
Back here at FNB Stadium. Halftime presented by 84 Lumber. Coming up this Monday, July 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern, the Prinx Tires USL Cup Knockout Draw quarterfinal show. USL's Dan Lucas and broadcast analyst Devin Kerr will select the matchups from the 7 group winners and the wild card. It's coming up this Monday, don't forget, at 1 p.m. Eastern, live on USL's YouTube channel. We'll have some stats and some highlights. Take a look around the USL Championship here in just a couple brief moments. All that and then some. Don't go anywhere.
We are back here on the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Coaches Show featuring head coach Rob Vincent. We're pleased to be joined by this month's special guest goaltender Nico Campazano. Nico, thank you for joining us.
For having me.
Yeah, how you liking this? First time on the Gateway Clipper, what do you think?
I mean, you've seen me. Was walking around nonstop. I'm loving it.
Taking a bunch of pictures. Wait, you walk onto something like this, you see the rivers. What comes to mind?
It's just so different for me. Like, I'm from Spain. That I don't think we have any rivers you can just navigate with a boat. Right. So it's just, yeah, it's a new experience.
So they don't have a gateway clipper over there in northern Spain?
No, definitely not a gateway clipper.
Okay. What do you think? I mean, you see this around. What's this like, seeing all the beautiful buildings and a beautiful city?
I love the city. It's obviously the view with Point Park, and then you see, like the incline, and you see the downtown next to it. It's pretty unique.
Yeah, and you're not new to Pittsburgh. You played college soccer for 2 years at the University of Pittsburgh after beginning your career, collegiate career, I should say, at the University of Portland. You joined here as a free agent this offseason. What drew you here to Western Pennsylvania, Nico?
Just something drew me back, man. I don't know. I always, obviously, my time at Pitt was incredible in all senses. I love the team. We were very successful. Made a bunch of good friends. I love the city, and obviously I was familiar with the club. I've been to watch games at the stadium before. They were very successful the last couple of years as well. They've produced very good goalkeepers, so I think it's a little bit of everything.
What was it like sitting there as a college kid, watching them play, and now you're the guy actually there between the pipes playing?
It was a weird feeling at first. Just, taking in, especially before the home opener, we trained there. I was like, it just feels different in preseason too. It's just, I'm not used to that, perspective of the field. I always thought it was one of the coolest venues I've seen, with the background. You see downtown, you see really everything. It's very different, but it's great.
Two champions loaded with USL history. Louisville City raised last year's Players' Shield, but the Pittsburgh Riverhounds took home the USL title. Contenders collide. Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Louisville City, Saturday, July 18th at noon Eastern on CBS.
Prinx tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinx tires will be there for the long haul.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kind of everything.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
In 2025, Pittsburgh proved once again champions live here. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds, USL champions, built on grit, strength, and performance. And when it comes to protecting your home, there's a champion there too. Pella Windows and Doors, one of the most trusted names in windows, built for performance and proud partner of the 2025 champion Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And for fans, get 55% off installation and an additional $500 when you mention the Riverhounds. Pella Windows and Doors, built like champions.
It is halftime in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. We hope you're enjoying the match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines. Last week in the championship, New Mexico United extended its league unbeaten streak to 5 matches with a 2-1 victory over Oakland Roots in front of more than 14,800 fans the 4th largest crowd in franchise history. New Mexico's Christian Nava scored his first goal since the 2022 season, a remarkable comeback for a player that battled through 2 knee injuries over a 2-year period. Tonight, we close out group play in the Prinx Tires USL Cup, and 8 clubs will head to the quarterfinals. You can watch that quarterfinal draw on the USL's YouTube channel on Monday the 13th at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern. USL is also gearing up for a national TV audience on Saturday the 18th. The title holders in the championship, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, host last season's Player Shield winners, Louisville City. That's a noon Eastern kickoff on CBS. And 2 more matches on CBS Sports Net. Sporting Jackson, Pittsburgh on the 15th. 2 days later, it's AC Boise and Portland Hearts of Pine. This is the USL Studio Halftime Update. I'm Dan Lucas. Now let's get you back out to your match.
Prinx Tires is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Built for practical performance in the long haul, Prinx delivers reliability for everyday drivers just like you. Visit PrinxTireUSA.com to learn more. Back here at the break with Drake Cordero, David Gascon. Take a look now. Schedule that'll be on tap. Upcoming games in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Anything jump out to you, Dre?
Well, the other match in this group, I think, is a huge one. Charleston against Charlotte, both on 8 points coming in. That's a battle for first place. And one other I'm looking for is Louisville City against Lexington, 2 of the best sides in the USL Championship, with a chance to win the group.
Colorado Springs Switchbacks trying to get their offense in gear. They badly need it. Orange County, the cream of the crop in the Western Conference. And that is where we stand right now. The Prinx Tires USL Cup, all the action tonight as well. We got some stats, we got some highlights, we got all kinds of things come up, including a second half. When these 2 teams return, Pittsburgh with the advantage, it's 1-0.
Rookie E-Draft stand it and secure a title for Pittsburgh. 26 years! Pittsburgh Riverhounds, 2025 USL Championship winners!
Hi, this is Anthony with Sell Pittsburgh Now. We're buying as-is houses for cash all across the Pittsburgh area. We make it quick and easy to sell your unwanted house. We buy houses as is with no repairs. Whether it needs a ton of work or is in good shape, we buy them all and pay cash fast whenever you need it. You don't need to fix up a thing or even clean up. And best of all, no fees or closing costs. We're Sell Pittsburgh Now, and we want to make you a fair cash offer. Call 412-385-0000.
Stop searching. Start a video visit with an AHN expert anytime, any day. At AHN, we see you.
Up, it's all, and he gave that the luck. Charles O. Ball rolls in, and an early chance is finished by Albert Dinkwa.
Still wrestling for it, and it's knocked in.
Right through, and it's in! The breakthrough Pittsburgh was looking for.
First half highlights presented by Corona. Pittsburgh and Loudoun going toe-to-toe. The first advantage so far for the home side.
Yeah, 2 was providing plenty of danger down that left side. Equal unmarked inside of the 18, and Walty with a follow-up effort. Flashes wide, but it was a sign of things to come.
See that going underneath the crossbar, but it stays out. 17th minute, more danger for Pittsburgh.
Mazzaferro just loses his man here, and Trevor Allen takes full advantage, gets out in front. Little push to try and take his balance. Goes down a little easy, sure, but it's a foul nonetheless inside of the 18, dead on penalty, and he does this with it.
Clean, crisp, and pure. He executes, and Pittsburgh with the advantage.
Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. That's 1-0, his 3rd goal in cup play. Could have had another that was waved off for offside later in the game. Maybe just needed to hold his line slightly, but here's some of the simple numbers in that first 45.
First half numbers in this one brought to you by Restano Heating and Cooling. The numbers tell you one thing. You see the possession doesn't really jump out to us. We acknowledged it with Pittsburgh conceding a whole lot in terms of possession. But do these numbers tell you anything?
No, I did like the number of final third entries we saw from Loudoun, so it's not as if they're just passing it among their center backs. They are trying to do something with that possession. Just the real clear-cut goal-scoring chances have been few and far between for Loudoun.
And if you're coming out for the second half and you're Anthony Limbrick, what do you tell your troops and how you kind of get yourself back on even ground?
New half, it's just a 1-0 lead. It's a fairly fragile lead for Pittsburgh, but you have to make them a little less comfortable than they have been. It's been a little easy defensively for Riverhounds, one of the better defensive sides in the league.
If you're Rob Vincent, would you change anything?
I don't think you can. I think you're missing 5 players that you would normally. Oh, Rob Vincent. Yeah, I think you'll see how you start out these first 10 minutes of the second half. Game in which you're very much in control. I don't think you change anything tactically necessarily, but maybe you give a few other players a look.
Definitely have to acknowledge being happy with everything that's gone on outside the injury for Junior A2. Charles all came in for him, but overall, Pittsburgh has looked comfortable. They've looked composed. They've been creative. They capitalized on one opportunity and just missed on 2 others. Second half begins. Pittsburgh going from right to left. Loudoun United, conversely, from left to right on the counter.
Some personnel limitations as well for Pittsburgh. They're without Kelp, who is suspended. They're without Bassett and Sample, who are still nursing injuries. And so you get a bit of a patchwork back forward that so far hasn't suffered any major damage.
First half, possession favoring Loudoun. Pittsburgh having the better advantages in terms of scoring opportunities. Converted on the penalty, out shooting Loudoun 4-3. But all in all, most of the danger happening on one side of the pitch.
You know, a team is in control. Even if you're losing the possession battle, the most touches for the Hounds come from Jackson Walty and Danny Griffin, 2 of the central midfielders, the guys who I told you could boss that midfield area. And you can see it's so much more deliberate, intentional buildup that you see out of Riverhounds, sort of imposing their will when they have the ball, as opposed to taking what the defense is giving them.
And you loved what Walty had done in the first half, that following trail-out play that he has delivered in the first half.
Yeah, both he and Griffin. Walty a little closer to goal, and Griffin just behind him, being that orchestrator, moving the ball around, moving the ball to move the opposition.
Loudoun on the approach here. Ordonez. So a lot of action on the left-hand side, trying to get this ball back. Farson had 2 chances in the opening half. Couldn't capitalize on either one. He was stopped. Another one missing the net entirely.
Murphy was in an interesting spot there because he was inside of the 18 with his back to goal. It's not his most comfortable position, and so trying to link up with Thor Olferson. Murphy trying to give the ball back to him, and it was poked loose.
The 2 headline players that we acknowledged to open up this show. Albert Dikwa, who's had 2 chances. Ball, the delivery, nobody home. This one bobbled around. Loudoun trying to counter, go back the other way, but not yet.
It appeared to strike the hand of Super, but it came off of Hounds player first, and the referee saw nothing in it.
Who's impressed you most in this match?
I'll tell you after this attack. And so I think it has been that midfield duo of Griffin and Walty. And again, without having much or most of the possession, when they do have the ball, they have clear ideas of what they want to do with it. There's Walty in possession again.
Vieira out wide, waiting for some help.
And then, of course, the finish and the danger that we're seeing from Trevor Ahmed, who's really taken to this competition, scoring half of his goals in this tournament. And if he's a little more patient, he could have had a second.
He's been excellent so far for Pittsburgh. All plays in Junior A2 because of an injury. He's been played in. One of the elements to acknowledge for Loudoun here in the second half, their back line all hit with yellow cards in the opening half. So there is some pressure. Can't think of doing a whole heck of a lot.
And Mazzaferro was booked in the 18th minute after conceding the penalty. Adnan followed late in the first half, and then Erlinson in stoppage time.
All with the crossing attempt. That was a nice question to ask. enough elevation on that ball. Griffin, and Pittsburgh will hold. Super more of a lazy approach, and all just went right around him. Pretty easy. Not something that Pittsburgh did a whole lot of in the first half, and that was maintaining possession. Walty asking Barnes to move up a little bit. Nice move by Walty himself.
They did early in the first half, and it was only after the penalty that seemed to be the smelling salts for Loudoun United, who really woke up and had a couple of good chances in response to that 1-0. Now we're seeing the Hounds start the second half much how they did the first, with more possession, a bit more threat now from Griffin.
All wanted to try to get it back to Griffin, could not. His last touch by Loudoun United. Home side keeping possession. Barnes. All just a misstep, a little bit of miscommunication, and he overextended himself and didn't look comfortable going down there either. Even with the miscue, all smiles. It's been that kind of the night of the office for Pittsburgh. 1-0-2 in Group 6 play. Loudoun United, victory and 2 defeats.
You have to really like the way that the attacking players were the first line of defense there. You saw the pressure being applied by Dikwa and Aman, and it leads to an immediate turnover, giving the ball straight back to the Hounds.
Ordonez, Farson, just outside of him, too far in front. He's got the body language to voice this displeasure. Vieira goes tumbling down. Induce a foul.
Yeah, Wu was the guilty party this time. That was a clever ball by Walty, who spotted the run. And Wu did really well to be the first to touch it, not allowing Vieira to get in behind.
Wu was probably one of the more dangerous and creative players in the first half for Loudoun United. Didn't result in anything, but did have plenty of touches and asking some questions. This header screams wide by Dikwa.
Gets his glancing header wrong as he's trying to knock that down to the feet of the goalkeeper. But remember that first half of Wu, the best chance that Loudoun United had was Wu getting free on the left flank and delivering a cross in from very close range for Olferson. And it was a save that the goalkeeper didn't know much about. It was more in self-defense than anything else. Else it would have been 1-1.
Make sure you stay with us at the conclusion of this match. We'll have our man of the match presented by Modelo. Full-time stats and highlights as we conclude things here in Pittsburgh on a Saturday night. Question for Loudoun, can they find an equalizer here? And for Pittsburgh, all they want to do is extend the advantage. They've been sharp here tonight. Albukura wanted to get it back and does. Albukura from a dangerous spot, riding up though and coming out to gobble up his Butler.
Good combination between Albukura and Ordonez. Kimi Ordonez's hold-up play is excellent there. He's got a defender on him. He just has that little neat layoff for Albukura. Super was involved as well, but of those three, Super is not the one you want closest to goal.
Ordonez playing a little musical chairs as well. He was on the left-hand side predominantly in the first half. Has now moved over to the right.
That's the interesting thing about that front three of Albukura, Ordonez, and Tor Olferson. Tor often will, maybe more often than his coaches would like, drift into the midfield to get involved with the play. And Ordonez and Albukura can both play wide, can both hold the ball up well, can both drive at defenders.
That ball going in for a drink, so they get a replacement. Change in numbers and performance so far in half number 2. Match just is a different feel for both sides here coming into it. Neither club can advance past group play. and the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Tiebreakers are influencing that. Pittsburgh on the bad end of it. Loudoun only has 3 points.
Feels a little more open in the start of the second half as well, which bodes well for the neutrals and for goals to come.
Vieira, who lost it. Griffin got back.
I think Abukura has a point there. He was being pulled back by Jorge Garcia. The referee saw nothing wrong with it.
Dikwa with a step and a hurdle. But he'll wait for some reinforcements.
That's one thing that stood out to me in this early part of the second half is the defensive work that you're getting from the forwards of Pittsburgh. Ahmed and Dikwa leading by example, being the first line of defense. Conversely, you're not getting the same effort or effectiveness from the front three of Loudoun United when they're off the ball.
The pressure has not been as heavy.
And they're pressing like the bad guys in a martial arts film, one at a time.
Hero gave it up. This one crossing it. And Non will head this away, and it'll be a corner kick here for Pittsburgh. Been a rarity for them, but a Pittsburgh corner kick brought to you by Cohen's Market.
Surprised they allowed that ball to bounce inside of the 18. It's a dangerous proposition, and Non, in the end, intelligently just nudging it out.
Hasn't been a whole lot here. Garcia will take the corner. Something that Pittsburgh has utilized here in this match. Garcia has to readjust. 5 shots in this game so far for Pittsburgh, 3 for Loudoun. Garcia, pretty good ball with some numbers around. Akinyoni able to disrupt. Walty from outside again. That shot blocked.
It's Martefero getting a touch onto it, not allowing that to create any more danger.
Brief push, but getting away with it. That's a Faro. It's on yellow. Johansson as well at non. All booked. Akinyoni trying to elevate. Loudoun United, not a whole lot going on in the middle of the park. Pittsburgh would love to extend this advantage to 2. Dikwa, who's had his fair share of chances, not there. Sliced away. But again, the defense for Pittsburgh suffocating.
Much better press in this second half from the Riverhounds, who are winning the ball back almost immediately after losing and not really allowing Loudoun to get out of their own half.
Pittsburgh, a model of consistency on the defensive end. Offense will come and go. It wavers at times, admittedly.
That was awfully close to going out.
Played gingerly through, but switching the pitch is Pittsburgh. Dikwa gets tackled, and this will be a free kick.
He has to be careful because all 3 of those defenders are booked. Matsefero was the first of them, and he has a fistful of Dikwa's shirt here in this coming together. And you might get away with it once or twice, but the sheer repetition of it will prompt that yellow card.
2 players jostling for, yeah, to your point, Matsefero.
I think if he doesn't have a yellow, you're seeing the referee reach for his pocket. And he was rated on a curve because of that yellow.
Loudoun cannot afford to go down a player, especially trailing by a goal. They frankly have not been good enough offensively to provide any pushback yet. Garcia on this free kick. Garcia lofting it up. Will bend onto it all. Tees one up and just misses the top right-hand corner.
Oh, he knows how close that was. It's a quality strike from all, and it doesn't miss by much. It's a crowd of bodies inside the 18, so not a lot of areas to aim for. And he tries to hit that up there where the spiders live. Slightly bending away from the goal. You see how deep they're forcing Loudoun to defend now. And those second balls ricocheting out, whether it's All or Griffin or Walty, those chances will be there.
And do you think that's a sense of what the players are feeling, or maybe coaching telling these guys to extend a little bit and put more of that pressure on Loudoun United?
I think that's been the focus of the second half, is to try and suffocate Loudoun. Make it difficult for them to connect 2-3 passes together, even in their own half. Remember, most of that first 45, we saw a Pittsburgh side that was more sitting in the mid-block, waiting for Loudoun to come onto them and trying to limit those spaces once they did get into the attacking half. It hasn't been the case here in the second stanza.
Griffin trying to weave his way around some traffic. Malty surveying, glides us through Dequa, the drop feed, the attempt. Good build up there from Pittsburgh, just could not able to complete the act.
It's a gorgeous combination. It deserved a better result. What a ball that is. What vision from Walty. Threaded the needle to find Dequa, and smartly and unselfish for Dequa to try and lay this off to the unrushing Jorge Garcia, who already has a goal in group play.
So changes now coming from both sides. This will be for Loudoun United.
Now in the match, number 37, Elliot Goldthorpe. And number 5, Victor
Goldthorpe coming in, he's announced.
Yeah, so Victor Souza is going to step into the back four. He'll replace Vactor. He'll be alongside Osumanu. And Elliot Goldthorpe. Goldthorpe is checking in for the goal scorer, Trevor Amon. And so Dequa will be the lone forward now.
Gabire, he's also in the contest. Gabire coming in for Loudoun United.
Yeah, it's more like for like, because Super was playing as a sort of makeshift right winger. He's more of a central midfielder, central attacking midfielder, and Gabire more comfortable out wide, a more natural wide player.
Saw Elliot Goldthorpe also being announced.
So the changes are Souza and Goldthorpe in for Vactor and Amon on the Pittsburgh side, while Gabire replaces Super for Loudoun.
More to come in the second half. Lone marker so far in the 19th minute, Trevor Armand on a penalty. Junior A2 was subbed out in the first half because of an injury. Charles All replaced him.
Victor Souza, by the way, Queens native. First season now with Pittsburgh, coming over from New England MLS Next Pro side.
Goldthorpe immediately will see yellow. Took a hot minute to acknowledge as much. The hometown faithful not too happy about it.
Number 37, Elliot Goldthorpe.
It's the first player booked who is not a Loudoun center back.
Bit reckless with that attempt. Only a goal on the year, but he has heavy shot volume for Pittsburgh. It's not a team that relies on their offensive prowess, or the defense, the goalkeeping. 64th minute here from FNB Stadium in Pittsburgh.
First meeting of the season between these two teams was the season opener for Loudoun, the second match for Pittsburgh, and that was a 3-2 thriller. The Hounds just edging it out. We saw goals from Dikwa and Thor Olferson in that game.
Match to open up the year at Segra Field, but one of the acknowledgments from Anthony Limbrick was his team's performance and attitude not exactly the same as it is as Pittsburgh has developed and matured throughout this year. Walty. These two teams from the Eastern Conference have a lot to say for each other when they do meet up during regular season activity, because those are 6-point swings.
Victor Souza was upset with himself there. He's called in off the bench. First pass makes up for it here.
Spearheaded away. Walty trying to get his way out of some traffic.
Really like the simplicity in Walty's game. Knows where he wants the ball to go before it arrives.
Also just looks like the ball's finding him too.
Just that constant movement of both him and Griffin, always making themselves an option. These players were not hiding.
Walty again, speaking of the devil. Griffin. The back line, all had a step, and he has it now. All surveying, good hesitation. Back to Walty. All the cross. Dikwa looking for it. A beautiful setup, an even better finish. Albert Dikwa all smiles on a highlight reel goal, and Pittsburgh extends the lead to 2.
Well, from our vantage point, he's got no kind of angle on this, but how about the work from All and from, once again, Walty, there to lend a hand in support. All needed a bit of help. He was too isolated against 3 defenders. Running out of real estate is Dikwa, but the service is just good enough to get beyond the reach of the goalkeeper. And what a redirect by Dikwa. His first goal in the Prinx Cup this season. Second highest all-time goal scorer for Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and he's done it again.
One goal did not count on a setup by Walty. This one does by Dahl. And Dahl did not waste an advantage that he was given. But setting up a prime score in Albert Dikwa, and it paid off. 1-0 turns into 2 for Pittsburgh. And now I got to imagine they will be playing a bigger shell than they were to open up this second half.
You know, the game is called association football, and you have to associate. Right there was a situation where All is all by himself, seemingly out of options. He's got defenders around him, running out of real estate, needs somebody to combine with, and who pops up? The guy who's been doing it all game long, Walty, to just relieve that little bit of pressure. Give him another look, another chance, and he delivers a beautiful ball all to that back post.
Dikwa adding to his tally this year. There's 9 goals across all competitions. 6 during the regular season. He's been stellar for Pittsburgh. He's one of the go-to guys on this squad. All setting him up. His 3rd helper of the year. Pittsburgh, they have not really had a ton of resistance from Loudoun. Loudoun hasn't played a bad game. They just have not executed. And they have not put Pittsburgh under any kind of heavy duress for long stretches. There's been small moments. So wiped away Goldthorpe, Dikwa, and now Walty again. Ordonez. Abukor trying to split 2 defenders. That nutmeg did not land into the lap of Farson, and so Loudoun will have to recollect themselves.
Seen a few times now with just that final pass has been missing when those 3 up top combine. First, second passes do well to slice through the defense, but then that all-important key pass, the assist, has been missing. That was much better from Ordonez, though, as you saw him working there to win the ball back. Did so effectively and turned defense into attack.
Loudoun desperate to get back into this match. Question is, can they? And the other element to all this is, do they have any desire to? Motivation has been that they cannot advance in this Prinx Tires USL Cup. They have been eliminated from the next round, and group play will be as far as they go. For Pittsburgh, pretty much the same, but all in all, protecting home soil is obviously priority number one. Abukuro will take this corner. Abukuro softly played through. Pittsburgh doing a good job defending here.
Defensive issues have just plagued Loudoun United all season long, and the Prinx Cup has been a perfect example of it. They conceded 2 goals against Charleston at home in the opener. Did get the clean sheet against Richmond in the one game they have won. So they scorched through, but then 3 goals given up to Greenville last time out, already 2 here with 20 minutes left to go of regulation.
Did the quick math, 7 goals conceded in 3+ matches. Larson, top of the box. Abukuro with the toe pick. That goes wide.
Didn't have a ton of space. Abukuro had to get creative and couldn't really drive his foot through the ball, so he goes for the toe poke, and it's always bending away from goal.
3 subs going to be coming in. Take a look at that attempt from Abukuro.
Credit to Walty again there defensively, as he makes it tough for Abukuro and forces him to make up his mind.
See Robbie Mertz amongst the trio that are coming in. Sean Young coming in for Loudoun United. Mertz replacing Griffin. McCoy replacing Mazzaferro.
So Sean Young, who was on the score sheet when these two sides faced off back at the start of the season, comes in replacing Mazzaferro. And we're seeing Robbie Mertz replacing Danny Griffin. Owen McCoy joins the back 4.
Well, we get a quick moment. Today's Chatham University fact of the game takes us back to July 11th, 2003, and the Riverhounds made a coaching change that helped them shape the future of the club. A retired player, Ricardo Iribarren, as a player, took over as head coach, replacing Tim Carter. Impact was immediate. Pittsburgh won 10 of its final 12 matches of the season and followed it up with a remarkable 17-2-1 record in 2004 to capture the club's first ever division win. It's a reminder that one decision can change the direction of an organization. For the Riverhounds, the decision came on this date 23 years ago. It feels like it was just yesterday. It was a long time ago. That's really depressing.
So this is the center back pairing we've been more accustomed to seeing for the Hounds now, with Souza and McCoy.
Ordonez, Abukuro. Just a tough ball there. 2 players not being on the same page. Ordonez running right down the middle of the pitch.
A lapse in concentration from Olferson, who seemed to back up off of that ball. The problem there is after he made the pass, no one was making a run, so it's basically just give it to Olferson and watch.
Make sure to get in early, as the first 750 fans will walk away with a limited edition ammo World Cup bobblehead. Plus, all fans will get free pom-poms to cheer on the team on national TV.
Over Medella man of the match to conclude this affair. We'll also have some highlights, a save of the game and a play of the match. Well, then as we reach full time here from FMB Stadium in Pittsburgh. Riverhounds have been clinical. They haven't been in much trouble at all. And for Loudoun United, a step or 2 behind.
Penalty shootouts have played such a massive role in this Group 6. It's the reason why you could see Pittsburgh Riverhounds, defending USL champions, crash out in the group stage of the Prinx Cup with 8 points.
Larson trying to play this one to the middle. Crossing the goal mount, but nobody on arrival for Loudoun United. Thorpe trying to work around a triple team. Murphy, Larson, the steal. They'll reset Murphy. He's asking for it and available. Abukura's turn. Shot from well out, scales over the crossbar. A decent look, but Linson not on it.
Center back Erlinson from a long way out. Just can't get that shot to stay out.
Football fans, turn on CBS on Saturday, July 18th for a USL Championship Eastern Conference showdown. Pittsburgh and Lou City, last year's champ, going head-to-head with the Players' Shield from 2025. It's a must-watch match of the summer. Two elite clubs on one massive stage. Don't miss a minute of the action on CBS at noon Eastern on July 18th. Larson trying to do a little bit too much there. Pittsburgh will intercept.
Nice taking on the world there, Thor, but didn't have any options to pass to either. Went on against 3 defenders.
So chipped into the box. What Ordonez was thinking there, didn't have a real sense of urgency and just went out of bounds instead of he was tracking it down.
Lack of spatial awareness.
That kind of a night for Loudoun United. They have played to a frustrating level against Pittsburgh. There's been plenty of room to roam, but not to develop, not to create, and certainly not to score. Yet, anyway. Ball want to get it back and does. Ball had a quality look towards target here in this second half. Missed the top right-hand corner by a couple inches. Deke was scored in half number 2, hit the crossbar in the opening half. Trevor Rahman converting on a penalty in the 19th minute, and that is where we stand.
Seen a lot less of a war in this second half, haven't we? He was almost the only sort of outlet to get the ball forward in the course of the first 45 minutes, and he's been almost forgotten in possession for Loudoun.
Two players that have not had significant touches in the second half, Bolo Akinyoti and Awuwa as well. Puzzling as it is, Pittsburgh has built on their advantage, and they've played better in half number 2 than they did in the first.
So Younger Beer is shaken up here, but there you saw a little bit of why they made that change and what he gives you that Super doesn't. Super will have that tendency to cut back inside, to play more as a midfielder, and Younger Beer is going to try to beat his man and deliver a dangerous cross into the area. He did that last time.
Younger Beer still down in some agony right now. Called for the trainer to attend to him. Painful thumbs up. Looking close to 15 minutes left in this match. Is there anything Loudoun can do to get back in this contest?
Well, they've got individually the players to do it, right? There's a lot of attacking players on that pitch with Thor, Ordonez, Abukura, Younger Beer coming in to try and provide a bit of width on the opposite side of a wall, which they didn't have in the course of the first 45 minutes. Just the execution hasn't been there. We've seen little sparks. We see here.
Lofted it up, Larson. And
little sparks individually in attack from the players I mentioned, but the collective has been missing. That combination to unlock what is a very good Riverhounds defense has not been there.
If you're Rob Vincent, have to be happy with the result. The team has played a poised match. They've been good.
I think beyond the result, he's got to be happy with the performance as well. Heavily rotated side. Finishing, for now, group play without losing any of the games in regulation.
Team playing motivated, playing suffocating defense. Scoring on a couple of chances. Gainbridge on a good look. Nobody around. And Ordonez is looking at him directly and then simply looks away in some disgust. That's some body language for you.
I don't think that's exactly what Mikoy intended either, but it worked well enough to find the goalkeeper.
Goldthorpe springs forward. Dikwa on the run. Yoni trying to shield him off. Decent resistance for now. Into the 80th minute. All Pittsburgh so far. 2-0. Time was wasting away for the roadside.
Of course, after Mazzaferro came off and was replaced by Sam Young, we saw Akinyori drop from his defensive midfield position to center back, one of the back three with Adnan and Erlinson.
Shots are 9-5 in favor of Pittsburgh. Possession has improved for Pittsburgh in this game. In the first half, they were outpossessed 62% to 38. In half number two, they've actually owned more of the possession, 57% to 43. Go figure.
2 on target from the Riverhounds. Of course, one of those the penalties, but shots that have been on target have found the back of the net for the Riverhounds, and that doesn't count Dikwa's early chance. It was denied by the crossbar. Just the 1 shot on target so far from Loudoun, and that was very early on, immediately after the goal, Thor Olferson.
Yeah, his header was a setup for Mawua on a sharp angle. It's not how many chances you have to score, but it's if you can when you convert those rarities, and unfortunately for Loudoun, they could not, and the rest has been history.
Balti might be tiring out. Saw him reach there as he might be cramping.
Young over. Gainbridge needing some help, trying to turn the corner. And now here comes defensive reinforcements for Pittsburgh. Expected goals for Pittsburgh 1.54 and Loudoun 0.3.
Not quite a third of a goal. And there you saw a good example of the contrast in this game, right? When you saw the second goal for Pittsburgh Riverhounds, it was a, I'll tell you in a moment.
Ordonez is asking for it back. Farson's on the far right-hand side. He gets to it now with the right foot. Left foot goes off the crossbar. Looked like it was partially deflected on the way through. Either way, another break for Pittsburgh.
Well, he's feeding on scraps, Thor. He's had a second very good opportunity here to find his way onto the back of the net. That's such patience and composure in front of goal with the defender sliding down to keep his wits about him. He's unlucky not to score.
Butler got the shoulder on it. Abu Kura's drive is blocked.
Something's gotten into this Loudoun team late on.
They need a conversion. Get one back to make things interesting against Pittsburgh. Credit though to Butler, who came out on the attempt from Farson and able to disrupt it. Just getting that right shoulder on it allowed it to graze off the arm and then hit the crossbar and stay out.
I think it's emblematic of the way that the season has gone for Loudoun so far. Yes, they've been outplayed for stretches in this game, but there's 2 chances for Thor that you would expect him to put away. And they weren't easy chances, but they're the kind of chances that a talented player like him does put in the back of the net. They've been unfortunate that he hasn't found those 2 goals. It could be level.
For his quality, he'd love to have more of it. Nice touch, Robbie Mertz. Mertz with the angle, gently played across, but nobody home for Pittsburgh.
Went back post looking for Dequa and maybe didn't spot the run of Goldthorpe in the middle.
Loudoun trying to make some noise before they go back home. And Pittsburgh just trying to seal the deal shut. 85th minute. Pittsburgh wins. They'll be unbeaten in group play in the Prinx Tires USL Cup with 2 victories and 2 draws. They'll have 8 points, but unable to advance. For Loudoun, should they lose, they'll finish the Prinx Tires USL Cup with a victory and 3 defeats. Ordonez just a little bit off the mark, and Butler just burned some time.
That's been Ordonez's game today as well. He's getting himself into some interesting positions, and then it's just either he's a second late or the touch isn't right.
No. Top players for Loudoun United in the attacking third just have not played as a cohesive unit. Not for a lack of trying. You credit Pittsburgh for a portion of it.
That last save that happened about 5 minutes ago is brought to you by Edgar Snyder Associates, and that earns another $100 donation to the Western PA Boys and Girls Club.
Spearheaded away and comes back Loudoun United. And Nan is waiting for someone in the attacking third to ask for it. Not the case. Loudoun after this, be back home against Tampa Bay Rowdies. That will not be a comfortable affair. Pittsburgh, after this, of course, more work. So take on Sporting Jacks. Deke was down in some agony right now, and Ordonez rather miffed by all of it.
And the only thing you don't want when you play Dequa in a game like this is for him to get injured. You know that you're going to rest him. He's got an upcoming suspension midweek in the USL Championship, so you roll him out there to give some other players a little bit of a break. And this is just unfortunate. It looks like a bit of a tangle. And Ordonez is right that he gets the ball. Dequa appears to trip over the ball.
And Deke was still down. Stretched out right now. Pittsburgh after this on the road at Sporting Jacks next week on the 15th. Then they go back home, the big matchup against Lou City on the 18th at noon Eastern. 3-game homestand with Lou City, Rhode Island, FC Tulsa all coming to town. Dequa coming back. Man to his feet is our man of the match, presented by Modelo. Hit the crossbar in the first half, converted on a golden opportunity in the second half, and the 66 meant the insurance marker, at least for right now. And Albert Dequa, our Modelo man of the match. Well earned. He's been a threat. He's been a pain and a thorn in the side of Loudoun United.
He created a chance also in that first half, so not just getting on the end of them, but being the genesis of it as well. And bears repeating, that was a very tough angle from which he did eventually score. Lobbying over the goalkeeper, and he seemed to be running out of room. '88th minute, and you just see how ravenous the press is from Pittsburgh, up 2-0. And they initially give away possession. You've got those 6-7 seconds of pressure trying to win it back in opposition territory. If you don't, and you force them back to play among the defenders, then you retreat into your defensive rest shape.
That'll be a foul for Loudoun. They're just looking for something, anything. Ordonez throwing a shoe. Not literally, of course, but he lost it. Outline, gonna go the opposite way.
Wool is approaching 100 touches in this game.
Ordonez wanted to line it up. He does with the left into the breadbasket. Well, there it comes.
The effect of that ball suggests there was a little deflection there. Had a bunch of bodies in front of him. It's the reason he hesitated to pull the trigger with his right. Pulled it back onto his left, and all this thing was taken off by the deflection.
It's not a lot of offense for Loudoun tonight. Dequa just burning some clock. All to set things up. Back in Yodi able to evict. Dequa, sweet move around one defender, not the second. 90th minute. We'll check for our fourth referee and how much time we're provided.
Ladies and gentlemen, there'll be an extra 3 minutes.
3 minutes of added time.
That's an extra 3 minutes to make some
How about a hand for the PA announcer? That's the most excited I've ever heard anyone be.
Yeah.
About 3 minutes added on in a 2-0 ball game. Keep it coming.
Might be waking some folks out that could be babysitting their dollar beers. You never know. The fans that have showed up, have showed out, and they've been rewarded with a good performance from their side. Here, shoved off that. He's looking for something a little bit more deliberate with a call, and Ordonez miffed.
Quinones can't really complain too much about that. It was somewhat of a shameless foul. And maybe a late whistle from the referee, but clearly a foul.
It's been a suffocating night for Loudoun United. 6 shots in this match, only a couple on target.
Love this stadium when the sun goes down and the lights are reflected on the river behind.
It's just a graceful look, isn't it?
The sun is setting on the Prinx Cup for both of these teams as well. If you're Pittsburgh, you come away from cup action with your head held high.
Prideful team.
Dequa getting tossed around now by Awua as well.
Frustration that has mounted up throughout this entire match, and Dequa on the receiving end, at least late in this affair. This will be a Cohen Markets corner kick. Well, full-time stats and highlights as we wrap things up here from Pittsburgh. Do it all over again. Closing seconds of this match. Pittsburgh wrap things up in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Group 6, a couple victories, 2 draws, 8 points. Loudoun, a victory and 3 losses. We'll have 3 points. At least for Pittsburgh, they take what they have done here tonight and carry it over into next week in their pursuit of a title defense. Ball here. That'll be played by Mitchell Butler. Final whistle is blown, and that will be that. We've reached full time here from FMB Stadium, and a clinical match from start to finish sees Pittsburgh prevail over Loudoun United by a final score of 2-0. Pella windows and doors, clean sheet tonight, and that man right there delivering, Mitchell Butler. A rare start for him tonight. He rewards his team for his performance, grabbing the clean sheet and some high fives and some low fives. And he gets the victory for Pittsburgh and a clean sheet along the way. Congratulations to Mitchell Butler and Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Post-game show is coming up next. Got stats and highlights in full time. Pittsburgh prevails, 2-0's the final.
At FNB, we rewrote the rules of banking and made getting everything you need a whole lot easier. Experience the one-of-a-kind eStore Common app. Checking, savings, loans, credit cards. One application, done in minutes. No hoops, no hassles, no surprises. Just one common app for more than 50 business and consumer products.
Can your bank do that? Didn't think so.
Welcome to FNB. Let's get started.
Here in Pittsburgh, strength, pride, and teamwork matter, just like at Home Genius Exteriors, a top-rated roofing, siding, windows, and doors contractor. Call now and get 50% off roofing materials, plus no payments till 2027, and we're proud to offer an extra 10% military discount. Schedule your free, no-obligation home inspection today. Call 412-528-6526. Home Genius Exteriors, proud sponsor of your Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Our mission is to serve our community through compassion, healing, and hope with a focus on long-term solutions. The Duquesne Light programming collaboration is really helpful. It's definitely a great feeling to empower customers in feeling comfortable and confident in their ability to pay their bill. We are here to help. Our job is to help you and break down any barriers and
more
make
about
a
that.
connection
The
to a
investment has
long-term
been not so
solution.
much on the team, but on the complex.
We're back here live from FMB Stadium. Look at that sunset here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Riverhounds triumphant over Loudoun United by a final score of 2-0. Full-time highlights presented by Corona. And it was one-way traffic tonight for the home side. Smiles for him in Pittsburgh. Full-time stats, the numbers tell you it was one-sided for Pittsburgh. Outside of possession, which they improved on in the second half, but they were just a clinical team tonight.
I think they'll be most proud of that 0 on the scoreboard as well, keeping Loudoun United off the score sheet and getting Mitch Butler his first clean sheet on his first start in front of the home fans.
Full-time stats presented by Restano Heating and Cooling. So we'll say goodbye to you on a Saturday night from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was clinical from the Riverhounds tonight. Unfortunate for them, they cannot advance in the USL Prinx Tires Cup, but they prevail unbeaten in group play as they close things out 2-0-2. Pittsburgh 2, Loudoun nothing. Have a wonderful night, everyone. So long.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.